Hey everybody, this is Matt at tradingparadigm.com, and today I want to discuss three critical mindset attributes that traders can borrow from Navy SEALs. As a quick side note, I've recently been going back to revisit some of my older blog posts and create videos on them. And it's been really interesting to kind of rediscover my thoughts from, this was published over 2 years ago now. In some of the connections that I've made in my mind to trading from seemingly unrelated fields have been instrumental in my own growth and development as a trader. I've always been fascinated by Navy SEALs and other groups of special operators in the military, and I think the way that they approach their jobs is inspiring. They're some of the strongest, most courageous, and highly skilled people on earth, and mental toughness is an absolute requirement. From an outsider's perspective, it might seem like physical strength is all it takes to become a Navy SEAL. Pretty much every candidate is a specimen of fitness. They look the part. So you'd think they'd all be able to muscle their way through the 6-month BUDS training program, right? But despite each candidate's high level of physical fitness, the dropout rate is still about 75%. It's not really physical toughness that determines success or failure in this arena. It's mental toughness. So let's dive right into the three critical mindset attributes that traders can learn from Navy SEALs. The first is poise under pressure. If you want pressure, imagine being in a legitimate life or death scenario. This juxtaposition between a trader and a Navy SEAL really puts into perspective how ridiculous our fears are while operating within markets. Our fears, for the most part, are completely imagined and irrational. All the market does is provide objective information, feedback in the form of price and volume data. Yet most market participants personalize it and internalize every little tick as life and death in their mind. And it's just not at all the case. We need to step back and gain perspective on how lucky we are to be traders and take advantage of the opportunity it provides to build income and wealth without any real physical danger. Navy SEALs, on the other hand, get put into scenarios with real physical danger that actually justifies being stressed. Bullets whizzing by their heads and bombs going off, and they're still able to stay poised in the most terrifying and distracting of situations. After going through training evolution after evolution, they learn to effectively block negative self-talk, visualize success, and fully focus on working the problem in front of them. They don't let worry and fear cripple them when they're trying to come up with solutions and make high-quality decisions in dynamic environments. We have so much to learn from Navy SEALs when it comes to poise under pressure. The second is understanding what you can and can't control. One of the major reasons SEALs are able to stay poised under pressure is by concentrating on variables that they actually can control. Any element that they can't control is just noise and a potential distraction to the successful completion of the mission. They don't sit around blaming external forces and releasing their power to outside circumstance. That doesn't help them come up with solutions. Instead, they take complete ownership of the problem and work to resolve it. The parallels to trading are critical to understand. As independent retail traders, we have no meaningful control over the market, but we absolutely do have control over how we react to it, our process. Blaming the market or anyone else is ridiculous and just doesn't help. We have to take personal responsibility and accountability for our own behavior. It's like the old saying goes, you can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. Complaining about the wind is futile. Control what you can control. The third is mission over ego. SEAL team members are trained to be disciplined and put the mission over their personal egos. They have a growth-oriented, team-first approach that puts the emphasis on mission success. In trading, individuals are constantly falling victim to their egos. And whether or not they consciously realize it, they often sacrifice their long-term goal or overarching mission of becoming a skilled, disciplined, consistently profitable trader by giving into their short-term impulses and biases. And those short-term impulses are often driven by ego, like trying to avoid losses altogether by doubling down on losing positions, or removing stop losses, so that they don't actually have to take the loss and feel inadequate or like a loser. They attach their self-worth to the result of every individual trade. And these faulty attitudes, beliefs, and perspectives sabotage the mission. Feeding your own personal ego comes at the expense of ultimate mission success. The message here is that with any meaningful endeavor in life, the proper mindset is paramount. Being a trader and being a Navy SEAL are two extremely different things, but there is one major thing they do have in common. No individual can sustainably succeed in either without the proper mindset. Those who choose to go down these paths are entering dynamic and challenging environments that often feel or actually are threatening, and it requires training and adaptation to operate effectively. In large part, it doesn't come naturally. It takes deliberate practice and intention and real-life experience to acquire a high level of self-awareness and self-control. It's not something you can just go out and buy. You have to do the internal work to develop these mental skills for yourself. Mindset is very often the deciding factor between success and failure. And this doesn't just apply to traders and Navy SEALs. It applies to anyone trying to become an elite performer at anything. You can find the link to this full article down in the description, and please feel free to share your thoughts, opinions, and experiences in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Take care.